Live from Morgan State University in Baltimore, it's the All-American Presidential Forums on PBS, moderated by Tavis Smiley. Tonight's forum features Republican candidates seeking to become their party's presidential nominee.
Please tell me and this audience, in your own words, why you chose to be here tonight and what you say to those who chose not to be here tonight. Congressman Paul.
Well, the main reason I'm here is because I was invited, and I'm delighted that I was invited, and I'm very pleased because I go wherever I'm invited to talk about freedom. That, to me, is the most important thing, along with the emphasis on the Constitution. I believe so strongly that individuals have their rights and their life as a gift from God, and the purpose of government is to protect life and liberty. But I'd also like to extend that if you have the fruits of your labor, I would like you to keep the fruits of your labor as well. And under those conditions and under a freedom philosophy and under the Constitution, we would be so much more prosperous because we wouldn't be policing the world. We would be bringing our troops home, and we would take care of our people here at home.
Thank you, Congressman.
If you are elected president in 2008, what positive and significant legacy, if any, will you leave for Black Americans?
I would like to believe that if we have a freer society, it will take care of blacks and whites and everybody equally because we're all individuals. And to me, that is so important. But if we had equal justice under the law, I think it would be a big improvement. If we had probably a repeal of most of the federal laws on drugs and the unfairness on how blacks are treated with these drug laws, it would be a tremendous improvement. And also, I think that if you're going to have prosperity, it serves everybody. And if this is done by emphasizing property rights and freedom of the individuals, making sure that the powerful special interests don't control Washington, that the military-industrial complex doesn't suck away all the wealth of the country, and then we would have prosperity. This is what we need, and we need to share it. The free society is the only society that can provide goods and services and distribute them in the most fair manner. And that is the society that I would advocate and argue for and believe it's available to us.
Thank you, sir. Senator Brownback.
In 2006, the unemployment rate of black high school graduates, that's high school graduates, was 33% higher than the unemployment rate for white high school dropouts. What do you think accounts for that inequity?
Walter Williams, a very astute free market economist, has studied this extensively. And he has found that prior to minimum wage laws, there was no discrepancy like this. So he put a lot of blame on the minimum wage law. Once government gets interfering, this takes away opportunities. And I believe there is a lot of truth to this because it eliminates an opportunity and a chance for a marginal worker. So once again, though, the economy is supported only when you have a sound economy perpetuated by government with sound policies. You have to have sound money. You have to have minimum taxes. You have to have, wise foreign policy. But I have a bill in that might help a lot of people, black or white or whomever. I have a bill in that would immediately help these people who are trying to get a start, that they would never have to pay any taxes or payroll taxes if they just happen to be a waiter or waitress, to give them a chance to get ahead and get a good job.
Thank you, sir. Senator Brownback.
If the next Congress passes comprehensive immigration reform that includes a path to citizenship, will you sign it, or will you support sending the 12 million home?
I'm very sorry, but I didn't hear your last sentence because of the acoustics.
In the next Congress, if the next Congress passes immigration reform that includes a path to citizenship, will you sign it, or will you support sending the 12 million home?
I would not sign a bill like you described because it would be construed and it would be amnesty, and I haven't supported amnesty. I also think that it's pretty impractical to get an army in this country to round up 12 or maybe 20 million. But I do believe that we have to stick to our guns on obeying the law, and anybody who comes in here illegally shouldn't be rewarded. And that would be the case. But I see the immigration problem as a consequence of our welfare state. Welfare because we encourage people not to work here, but the welfare we offer the people who come, they get free medical care, they get free education, they bankrupt our hospitals are closing, and it should not be rewarded. That means that if you don't round them up, you don't reward them, you don't give them citizenship. At the same time, you can't solve this problem until you get rid of the welfare state, because in a healthy economy, immigrants wouldn't be a threat to us. There would probably be a desire for more because we would be starved for workers. But today, they have become scapegoated because of the weak economy and the lowering of our standard of living.
Thank you, sir. Senator Brownback.
Name one reform, Senator, that you would endorse to assure young black and Latino people in America that they will have equal justice in America's courts.
A system designed to protect individual liberty will have no punishments for any group and no privileges. Today, I think inner city folks and minorities are punished unfairly in the war on drugs. For instance, blacks make up 14% of those who use drugs, yet 36% of those arrested are blacks, and it ends up that 63% of those who finally end up in prison are blacks. This has to change. We don't have to have more courts and more prisons. We need to repeal the whole war on drugs. It isn't working. We have already spent over $400 billion since the early 70s, and it's a wasted money. Prohibition didn't work. Prohibition on drugs doesn't work. So we need to come to our senses, and absolutely, it's a disease. We don't treat alcoholics like this. This is a disease, and we should orient ourselves to this. That is one way you could have equal justice under the law.
Thank you, Congressman.